Welcome back, everyone, to the topic of the week. And the topic of the week this week is erectile dysfunction and anything to do with the man and sexual intercourse. But I would like to talk mainly about erectile dysfunction purely because this is a topic that I have been focusing on with my clients. And I've noticed that if there isn't a physical condition, if you've got a physical condition that really just stops you from being able to have them and there is no way out, obviously I'm not a magician. I don't want to make false promises, but up to now, I have been able to treat near to every single male client for erectile dysfunction, and they've been able to be intimate and have full erections, and that's not always the only issue. Sometimes the erections come and they go, but they don't last, and that is also a problem because if you're with your partner, male or female, whatever it is, you can't then continue on and finish, and that is the beautiful part, that you connect with someone, that you're able to express yourselves and that you're able to both release at the same time, which is very, very freeing. And it's also amazing for stress relief, right? And I say this because I would love everyone to be very comfortable with their sexuality, that they are able to express themselves, but also that there is a safe place for you to talk about this, because for a man not to be able to have an erection it's a horrific feeling of, I am not a man, I am nothing, I have no power, I can't please my wife or my husband, my boyfriend, whatever it is. You may be gay, you may not be. Either way, it is a horrible feeling. And even if you are alone, obviously I can't say I identify because I do not have a penis, but I do understand that it must be, I empathize, I understand that it must be a horrible feeling that you have your power taken away and that you cannot connect with someone or even yourself, and you want that release. You want to be able to just, let go of the stresses of the day, because life isn't always easy. And so we need to find healthy and balanced ways to manage our lives. And again, this can also become an addiction, right? If you or we masturbate too often, or we have sex too often, it becomes an addiction, and there's something that you want to avoid. So what I've noticed with my male clients and erectile dysfunction is that guilt has come up. Guilt, the topic of guilt has come out in these hypnotherapy sessions for one of the causes of not being able to have an erection, and it's blocked them from being able to have an erection. So that was very, very interesting. So maybe have if this is something that you're affected by, and it's absolutely fine, because there are a lot of men and even young men. So we think, it gets to the age of about 50 upwards and then we have issues. Yes, that is correct. But there've also been a lot of, 20s and upwards that have been affected by this issue. So there can be a psychological reason, emotional reasons. And I've also had some clients that have gone back to scenes of things that they didn't even remember, things about sexual encounters, about things that they were confused by, some traumatic, some not so much, in these hypnotherapy sessions, and being able to understand the past. Because when we are babies and we are in our cot and we're in our parents' room, our parents think, and I want you all to know this, we all believe that the baby doesn't know anything, right? It's a baby, he's asleep, he won't hear us having sex. Well, the baby does. He doesn't know what is going on because it's a baby, right? But it feels and it hears and it senses. So if you do have a baby, try not to have intercourse or do whatever around that baby. And I know that's hard sometimes, you know, if you're living in a small apartment and so on, but a lot of these imprints were made by their parents making all these noises and sounds, and they didn't understand. You know, you're a child, you think, what are they doing? Why do they sound like crying giraffes? I mean, what's going on? But again, this is another imprint that can affect you during your life. And you may be asking, yeah, but I've been able to have erections for, let's say you're 45 till now. Why does this traumatic, or this trauma, this memory of when I was a baby affect me now when I'm 45, when I've been able to have erection? That would have been a wonderful question. Well, the answer to that is that sometimes we get triggered by things subconsciously that we're not even aware of. Let's say the trigger of that is that you saw a cot in a film and you didn't even consciously, you were watching a film and there was a baby in a cot and you weren't even thinking about it. And in that moment, subconsciously something was triggered. Or a loss. Grief has a huge effect on your libido and also the ability to have an erection and to maintain it and to be able to have an orgasm. Because this video isn't just about erectile dysfunction. I want to be able to focus on also being able to have an orgasm, right? Because it's wonderful to be able to have that process of getting there, the anticipation of being able to, release. But it's important to be able to have that outlet, because it's very frustrating if you're not able to come. It's as simple as that, and it sucks for both partners, right? So a big thing which I have mentioned, funny when every time I say big thing, yeah, one of the biggest issues with that is that we fear losing control. So even if you have been able to have an orgasm in the past, this pandemic has caused us all to feel like we have no control, you have no power, you have no right to choose about this or that. Maybe there's financial burden on your shoulders. Maybe you've lost your company, maybe you've lost your job. Whatever it is, the pressure and the feeling of not having any kind of control can block you. Why would you want to lose control if that's what's been happening and so many bad things have happened, right? I'm losing control right now. I've lost my job. I have no money. I am massively in debt. My wife has left me. My children are playing up and I feel massively triggered and I am constantly powerless and I feel out of control. Your mind is then not going to think, I'm having sex, I'm having such a great time, I'm going to go and lose control, because losing control is something negative. Right? So we want to reprogram your mind. First of all, find out what is the cause of you not being able to have an orgasm or have a full erection or even have an erection in the first place. And then reprogram your mind with subconscious words and being able to, fully ingrain that. And it's possible. This isn't woo-woo. This isn't me just, trying to get more views. And I have noticed this topic has had a lot of interest. And I think it's just because it's a topic that isn't really spoken about. So I want you to know that I truly empathize with you, that you are not the only man out there, that there are many, many, many men that struggle with this issue, and that it is normal and it is okay. You are still a man, you are still powerful, you are allowed to experience this. And if this feels upsetting, because I can imagine that it would, right? Allow yourself to show these emotions of frustration, but also of sadness. Because even though some people may not, or women, we may not think that it is such a big deal, it is a huge deal. It makes you who you are, right? That's what we believe. It makes my erection, makes me a man, and I'm proud of that. And now I don't have that. So what am I? But this is just a phase. There's a way out of this. I just want you to feel comfortable that there is someone that you can talk to about this issue. And I am here to emotionally help you and to give you that psychological support for you to be able to connect with your partner yourself, or to be able to just feel good about yourself again. So if you are struggling with any of these issues, erectile dysfunction, not being able to have an orgasm or even maintain the erection, then please feel free to go onto my website and book your free call. We can have a talk about this. If you're not comfortable to do a video call, that's absolutely fine. We can have a phone call, I understand. And yeah, feel free to do that. My website is leliahypnosis.com. You can also reach out on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm on all the social medias. Anyway, I'm sending you so much peace and calmness and self-reflection, and I hope that this video gave you some nugget of wisdom and inspired you to maybe just reflect on some of the emotions that you're feeling. And I want you to allow yourself, give yourself permission to cry, right? Because you don't need to cry in front of anyone. If there is something that you just want to release, then I want you to do that in a space where you feel comfortable. Sometimes in the car, I just get really upset in the car because something comes to mind, and then I have a little cry in my car whilst driving. It's just, we find the weirdest moments where we get triggered by certain things, and then you're a man, you think, oh, suck it up, whatever, I'm not going to let this out. No, stop repressing your emotions. Men aren't robots. You're a human being, and we're all made to feel. That's the whole point of all of this, that we're connecting and we're feeling and we're sharing our emotions. You don't have to tell anyone else what you're going through or what you're feeling if you don't want to, but at least honor yourself enough to be able to cry or to release some kind of emotion that is weighing you down. Anyway, feel free to reach out on leliahypnosis.com, and I hope these are all very authentic messages. So I have received some very interesting messages of someone who really doesn't want healing, but more uses this as a sexual foreplay, and that is not what I'm there for. I will instantly terminate that video and that call. So I am really truly here to help you psychologically, and I would like you to be able to feel free and confident, and to be able to have orgasms, and to be able to release. So yes, bear that in mind, but I'm sure none of you would do that. Anyway, take care, have a wonderful day, and keep shining.